Wobin finally broke the silence. His voice cracked as he confessed the truth. Kim was gone, and he had been there when she got stabbed. The guilt in his tone was unmistakable, his pain so raw it was almost visible. He admitted that he felt like a complete failure, that not saving her had broken him in a way he didn't think was possible. Dr. Anna didn't speak right away. Instead, she moved closer and looked him straight in the eyes. Then she reached for his hand, held it tightly, and offered the comfort of presence. Her touch reminded him of the words she had often repeated during their therapy sessions back in Norway, that it was okay to care deeply for others, that love didn't mean responsibility for someone's every outcome. She reminded him that he wasn't responsible for another person's actions, that some things were simply beyond his control. But Wobin, drowning in self-blame, insisted that he could have done something, that he should have done more. Still holding his hand, Dr. Anna repeated the lesson he had struggled to accept. He could love people and still not be able to fix everything for them. She saw the torment in his eyes and moved even closer. Then, wrapping her arms around him, she pulled him into an embrace. She told him to let it all out, promising that she would never judge him, and never had. In her arms, Wobin finally broke. The sobs came from deep within, full of sorrow and regret. His heart, already shattered, ached under the weight of grief. He cried as he admitted that he always felt responsible for saving everyone, and not being able to do so made him feel broken, different, as though there was something wrong with him. But Dr. Anna reassured him. She told him that he was not broken, that he was simply an empath, someone who felt deeply for others. And while that was a gift, it also came with the responsibility to protect his own heart, too. She reminded him that sometimes he had to learn to save himself. As Wobin cried in her arms, she gently patted his back, holding him steady in the storm of his emotions. The night stretched on, heavy with grief, but in that quiet moment of shared sorrow, something within him began to release slowly, painfully, but necessarily. Back in prison, Kim's father walked slowly into the prison medical center, his steps heavy and uncertain. Each stride felt like a weight pulling him further into a nightmare he was still trying to convince himself wasn't real. His heart pounded with dread as he approached the room where her body lay. Denial clung to him like fog, clouding his thoughts with a desperate hope that somehow this was all a mistake. The doctor quietly signaled that he could enter. With a heart burdened by grief, he stepped through the doorway, and there she was. His daughter's lifeless body lay on a cold metal table, alone in a sterile room. The sight of her took his breath away. Every ounce of composure he had tried to hold on to crumbled. His knees nearly buckled under the weight of sorrow as he clutched his chest, trying to suppress the pain that tore through him like a blade. Tears streamed freely down his face as he slowly walked toward her. He stood beside her, eyes locked on the stillness that had taken over her once vibrant body. Every memory of her, every laugh, every cry, every moment he had taken for granted, flashed through his mind. Overwhelmed, he leaned closer and whispered his apologies to her, trembling as he reached for her hand. He spoke from the depths of his broken heart, apologizing for failing her as a father, for letting her fall so far without catching her. He told her that he had never hated her, not even for a second. He had always loved her, and he always would. As his sobs grew harder to control, he confessed that he hadn't been there when she needed him most. She had come into this world needing a father, but he had taught her to live without one. When she had cried out for love, he had answered with silence. Now she was gone, and he didn't know how to say sorry to someone who could no longer hear him. The doctor entered quietly, allowing him a moment before asking for confirmation. Kim's father, still wiping away tears, nodded silently, affirming that the body was indeed his daughter's. The doctor explained that they were yet to perform the autopsy and that once it was completed, the body could be released for burial. Kim's father, his voice broken, nodded again in agreement. The doctor gently informed him that it was now time to begin the procedure and that he would need to step out. With one last lingering glance, Kim's father turned back to look at his daughter. He whispered his love to her one final time and vowed with fierce determination that he would uncover the truth, and whoever was responsible would pay, with blood if necessary. And with that, heart shattered and spirit heavy, he turned and walked out of the room, leaving behind a piece of his soul.